Well, there we go. Yeah. Oh wow, that's way too high. There we go. I've learned a lot about EQ and microphones the past week, and yeah, I got a plate of steamed vegetables that I'm gonna eat probably afterwards. I'm not. I can't imagine people wanting to watch me eat. I can't imagine people watching these videos, but I do get some views here and there. Um, yeah, this week was pretty wild. I dropped in weight. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I ended up getting beers and basically gaining it back. Um, but the workouts are going well. The past, I don't know, really since like the last week in February, I kind of like hit a serious speed bump in my just in everything. But I'm glad to say that things are looking back up. Yeah. I was up to like 157 last night. That's not bad. As long as it's under 160, I'm not feeling that bad about it. Um, but I got down to 151 during the week. And my goal really now is to get down to 140, which is where I was last summer. And the funny thing is that I'm planning on going back to New York this summer, so I'm probably going to end up having the same thing just happen all over again. But the steamed vegetables have been working out great for me. Also, I kind of got into making sugar-free pudding, but using whole milk, so calories are right back. Um, but it's sugar-free pudding. It's good. The thing is, though, I'm only going to be having that on Saturdays. I got sugar-free Jello, which you make with water, and it's 5 calories for a cup, and one package makes 4 cups, so it's 20 calories in a package. So that's not bad. It's not very filling, but it's a good snack, and this actually is quite filling. And yeah, I'm gonna scarf down this whole thing. Before I made a big bowl of steamed vegetables. I forgot to put the broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots in it, but it has everything else. So what I'll do is that I'll make a bag of this, and then I'll throw in some of the steamed vegetables that I made before, which has oh boy, it has spinach, it has Brussels sprouts, it has sweet potatoes, zucchini, and I threw a package of mixed vegetables, which is string beans, carrots, corn, and peas. And I don't think I'm going to be putting them in anymore. I think I'm going to try to maybe come up with like a different plan. But either way, you know. Today I did my upper body push workout, which was awesome because went from doing more in the way of volume to doing more in the way of weight. So I'm doing 5 sets of 6 reps, and I'm pushing myself with an extra 20 pounds on the weight I was doing before. I think I'm starting to get the lats. My gut's sticking out. If I do these earlier in the day, you'll notice like I'm a lot thinner, and you know you can see the well, you can still see the abs. um, but early in the day is kind of busy for me, so I really don't get to do this until now. Sometimes, usually, it's been a little early, like 3 or 4. Now it's about 6:20. Anyway, though, tomorrow, well, during the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do 100 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, which is 4 miles an hour at 8% grade, which is pretty good. You know, I want to move it up to 9% by the end of the month. Um, you know, it's a struggle. I mean, it's hard. It really isn't easy when you're in your mid to late 50s losing weight. Putting on muscle is even harder. But still, I feel pretty damn good with what I'm doing. And it leads me to a point where I have to, and I know I said this on the thumbnail. I didn't put it in the, what do you call it? Wait, do I have the right date? Yeah, 317. Um, Wait a minute, is today St. Patrick's Day? I think it is. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Um, but yeah, wow. So all right, so my drinking was in order. Good, good. Um, yeah, I, I've been a little down the past, I guess, month or so. My 56th birthday came and went. I had a nice breakfast. I made for myself eggs and ham steak and Swiss cheese and feta cheese and béarnaise sauce, and it was all really good. And I'll be right back. I just gotta get my phone. The alarm's going. Alrighty. Yeah. So what I was saying is I was feeling down. Still feeling a little down. Feels like my life is just stuck in this, where I'm going to be babysitting my nephew's kids for the rest of my life. I'm going to not go anywhere beyond like working on a farm. That's not bad. That's really not bad. Especially, um, I write music, and that's something that I've been doing for a long time. And I started recording again, and I actually got the recording I played last week is not the final work. It's just a rough draft. I got better vocals recorded during the week. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. No, it was last week. It was last Tuesday, actually. This past Tuesday, rather. And I started working on another song. I mean, I'll do that. I'll write like multiple songs at a time. But I don't want to call it counting of blessings, but that's really what it is. And it's about, it's 5 verses so far, no chorus. I don't know how you write a chorus for something like that. But really, it's like the first one is just being alive, just existing in the first place, being able to experience things and do things. And I'm not religious in the conventional sense. Like I don't believe in the Judeo-Christian Muslim God. I just have no interest in it. And I'm not trying to piss people off either. I respect those religions, and even though I've had some bad experiences in the past, I really don't hold everyone. I'm not a bigot. That's what it boils down to. I'm not a bigot. But anyway, just being alive is something to be incredibly, incredibly grateful for. The second thing is my health. I mean, I see so many people who are bedridden, couch ridden. They can't move. They're not mobile. Um, I see people in these little rascal carts at Walmart and at the Kroger and at everywhere. I see these mobility carts, and it's heartbreaking because you can see in the looks of a lot of these people. Some of them, some of them are really quite content to be sitting on that little scooter, and they'll have a plate of food, and it's almost the people who have that content look on their face are usually eating at the wheel of their little scooters. But I see expressions on other people where they really wish they weren't in a friggin' mobility scooter. And it really, you know, it's like when you're at the birthday party and you're eating your ice cream, you look at the little kid staring over the fence from the neighbor's yard, wishing they had some ice cream, and you're like, oh crap. And you try to like turn around and not look at him, but you keep looking back over your shoulder. And it just like the song says, if I could wave my magic wand. I don't have a magic wand. I got a few guitars, but they are anything but magic, at least not in my hands. The third thing are my senses, and really like the most paramount blessings that I think I have is my health, and that Like, I have carpal tunnel really bad in this hand. My thumb, the tip of my thumb, is always cold, like several degrees colder than the rest of my body, colder than the environment. Um, it hurts like hell. It started hurting a lot more recently, and especially when I play guitar, even more when I play bass. Um, my teeth need work. I have to start. I have to set up a dentist appointment. I've been lazy with that. But still, I mean, I can get up. I can get up off the floor. Without using my hands. I can do a lot of things that a lot of people wish they could do. I'm 56 years old, and I know people in their 40s, in their 30s even, who just can't do as much as me. And you know, and for people who are deprived of their senses, deprived of their sight, their vision, people who had COVID, who lose the sense of smell and taste, which to me are really valuable. I mean, I don't wake up every morning like but just being able to do so is such a blessing. And the fourth one, and this is more all encompassing, but and it sounds so trite, but love, and being able to love things, and being able to wrap your mind around the idea that love is ephemeral, and the things we love are transient. Everything is. We are in ourselves. Um, I get so pissed that I got to babysit my nephew's kids. And it's funny too because I almost feel like a tantrum throwing 6-year old, at the toy store. I don't want to go tonight. I don't want to go there. And usually I have Mondays and Fridays off, but my nephew, the poor bastard, has to go into work tomorrow night, which means I have to babysit. And honestly, you talk about first world problems, And the house is a mess. I mean, he complains that all the kids do is eat and play video games, but I see the example he sets for him when he gets home from work. All he wants to do is eat and play video games, and that's pretty much all he does. So the house is it's not in shambles, but it's a mess. And if oh God, if any of my friends see this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, wait a minute, the house you grew up in was hoarders." My mom was a hoarder, and I was in her house for almost 50 years. And I got out a couple of times, but I have to move back in. I'm not a financially stable person. I never was. I probably never will be. Um, so don't give me money. Even if I get like the little things, you can give me money. Don't. Well, if you want to, if you can afford it, please do. But don't. I'll the money that should go on food, rent, and stuff like that. I'll probably end up like buying parts to build myself a double neck, which probably end up playing like shit because I suck at setting up guitars. I shouldn't say that. I'm okay at setting up guitars. But anyway, the love thing, the gratitude I feel. There are people who are being forced into situations where they have to compromise their safety, their sanity, their peace of mind, their wellness, their health. They are subjected to STDs. I think I know what you know what I'm talking about. They are enslaved. And I think to myself sometimes, wow, I'm so glad I was born in America. But even this happens in America, and in either the inner city or and it's easier to imagine the inner city or in the in an extreme rural, extremely impoverished rural area, or but it happens in the suburbs. It happens everywhere, and it's just like when you walk down the street, you don't know what's going on behind those walls, and not that we need to, personally, but oh God, there's horrible things happening. And the fact that I am not in that situation. Now, when I was a kid, I was in some pretty bad situations, but I that's not where I am now. And I help out at this farm where there are animals. I've posted videos of these animals, and I love them. I love them so much, especially Noyan, who's a big, beautiful dog. He's got hot spots, they're really bad, and the farmers are telling me, get used to the idea of us putting him down soon. And oh god, I'm gonna cry like a freaking baby. But that's what happens. Barn dogs, guard dogs, they don't have long lives. They have happy lives. If happiness comes from tearing a raccoon to pieces and then watching me pick up those pieces and put them in a garbage bag and huff them into the dumpster. And the horses, the way the horses, we have three horses that belong to the farmers. We also board retired thoroughbreds and stuff like that. But there's Cactus, he's a miniature horse. And he's like 26 years old. He won't let me brush him. He's going to get brushed, whether he likes it or not. But he loves a handful of carrots. What horse doesn't? Then there's Geronimo, who's like a mid-sized Appaloosa. He's good. He's a little shy. He'll run away from me sometimes. He doesn't want to be hugged and kissed and all that. And then there's Drifter, who's a big buckskin. And he is the most jealous animal I have ever seen in my life. He will charge other animals when they come up to me. He's very greedy with the food, but I love him all the same. And sometimes if I'm brushing Geronimo, he'll come up and he'll start pulling my hair with his mouth, and he'll start doing this to my with his big stupid lips. And that oh god, being able to experience that, and it rarely crosses my mind that there are people who are in just such horrible conditions, uh, and good people, sweet people, people who would never do that to another human being, but it's being done to them. And that, and it never crosses my mind when I'm with the animals, but I force myself sometimes when I have the mind to do so, to think of these people when I'm about to like, "Arr, I'm gonna punch my fucking nephew in the fucking teeth," No, I mean he's got his problems. His kids got their problems, and my goal should be to lighten their load a little bit. Although I do have to admit that those little assholes have no interest in lightening mine. I mean, and I can deal with it. I mean, I'm from New York. Anyway, the last blessing I mentioned in this song is death, and the line is, and I welcome it because I know I'll die knowing that I loved life. And there are so many people who can't say that. And whether it's through disability or being infirmed or abuse or just mental illness. I know people. I mean, I've been there where you're surrounded by people love you, but you feel so isolated and so alone. And oh God, the worst was when I had akathisia, where it was a nurse practitioner screwed up my medication and ended up doubling my and they did this intentionally. They doubled my what do you call it? My dosage of an antidepressant, which forced me to pace endlessly. And when these symptoms first came on, I paced for 5 days straight, no sleep. And by the fifth day, I was terrified. I was shaking and scared. I went to the hospital. They gave me lorazepam. That shut me up. And I like that I didn't get addicted to lorazepam. And when I ran out and I didn't seek anymore. Actually, I didn't even run out. I lost the bottle. I think one of the contractors that was working on the house stole it. Um, so it goes, as Kurt Vonnegut would say. And I wanted to make this a short one, but it's going on 20 minutes. I think I have to add another verse in though, and one is about laughter. and being able to laugh at yourself and the situations you're in, and the ridiculous ways that I handle them. And they are ridiculous. But what it boils down to is that this is, about workout progress. And Greg Doucette says it, and James Linker says it, and I think I've heard uh, Jeff Cavalier say it too, that this is exercise. It is not punishment. I've heard this one lady, a complete bonehead. I don't like this person. I want to actually challenge this person. I want to do harm to this person's credibility because she's an idiot. She's not an idiot. She's a scumbag. She knows exactly what she's doing. But she says, she's one of these people who says, "Oh, don't demonize foods. Don't say that donuts are bad for you." And donuts aren't bad for you. It's just that 10,000 calories worth of donuts is. But one of the things she said is that you don't have to punish yourself with vegetables. This is not punishment. This is punishment. This is punishment. Steel tip boot to the teeth, that's punishment. Being deprived of food is punishment. That's the one I should have gone with. This is not punishment. This is a boon. This is beautiful. It's getting cold, but I'm still going to eat it. And it isn't punishment. It's a wonderful thing. The problem is that we reward ourselves way too much. We treat ourselves way too much. Treats are treats. They're not supposed to be consistent, or maybe they can be consistent, but not so frequent that they jeopardize our health. And, there are people who, oh God, I found this out from Infinite Elgin Intensity, that the California School Board actually hired one of these knuckleheads to create a what do you call it? Now, create a program in the school where they promote unhealthy eating. Now, I understand wanting to take pressure off of overweight students, reduce the ridicule that they go through, foster some sense of understanding with the fitter kids, but you don't do it at the expense of the health of these other kids. But it seems to, deaf ears, and it's California, so I really don't expect much from them, which really sucks. But the adults who are in charge in California, they do shit like this, and it's just ridiculous. And yeah, you know, I wouldn't have found this out without my sense of humor, for which I see as a blessing, because I would never have sat and listened to Infinite Elgin Intensity. Anyway, 23 minutes. Yeah, that's keeping it short. Anyway, many blessings and many thanks. I'll be back next week. I have some footage of storm clouds over the Kentucky farmland. I might post that later on tonight, maybe during the week. I had multiple head injuries, so I forget things. Has nothing to do with weed. Regardless, I hope to see you then. Until then, take care and best wishes to you and all you love. Good health, good fortune, and lasting happiness. Where's the thing? There's the thing.